So this story is from a few days ago now, but I couldn't help myself. I had to talk about it. Ron DeSantis responded to Trump accusing him of being a groomer. You guys saw the tweet. We covered it at the time, or it wasn't a tweet. It was a truth. Trump showed the picture of Ron DeSantis at a party with young girls when he was a teacher or something like that. And, you know, he was saying, well, Ron would never do such a thing. So, of course, the implication is pedo or groomer, something to that effect. Hilarious coming from Trump, as you all know, because this is a dude who was buddy-buddy with Jeffrey Epstein. He lies now about, I wasn't even that close with him, bro. It's whatever. But that's not true. We have endless photo evidence that he indeed was close with him. How many times was he on that plane? We don't know. We might never know. There's also over 20 accusations of sexual allegations against Donald Trump that get as extreme as rape. One of them is with a girl who was underage. Trump was quoted as saying, Jeffrey likes him young. I mean, talk about a glass house. It's the glassiest glass house of all time, dog. Anyway, not to defend DeSantis with his weird thing hanging out with those young girls. I mean, not a good look. Don't do it. Maybe something did happen. Maybe there was a crime there. But is DeSantis going to take the bait? Because Trump's been hammering him and DeSanctimonious. And, you know, seemingly every week now, he's got something negative to say about DeSantis. Now, why? Because DeSantis, he knows, he views correctly, is his biggest threat. Okay. So here is DeSantis' response. He's asked about it at an event.
I spend my time delivering results for the people of Florida and fighting against Joe Biden. That's how I spend my time. I don't spend my time trying to smear other Republicans.
All right, so I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think of that response? I saw a number of people on my timeline on Twitter who are lefties who were basically like, bitch, what a little bitch, what a little pussy. I saw a lot of that going on my timeline. Like, a weak response, bro, weak response. I got to be honest with you. I don't think it's weak. I don't think it's weak. Now, look, he's got a hard line to walk, right? Because he can't, like, never respond ever, because then that does start to look sort of weak. But he also can't go nuclear in response to Trump, because he's trying to court a lot of the people who voted for Trump once or twice. And so he doesn't want to go too hard against him and then alienate those voters and maybe bring even more Trump ire, because Trump is going to go lower than anybody ever goes, and DeSantis knows that, so he's sort of treading carefully. So he's got to walk this line between not being too passive and too weak, but also not going nuclear. And so, look, this response is similar to his last one when DeSantis was like, hey, man, look at the scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard from the midterms. You tell me how I'm doing. I thought that was a good response, because Trump was going after him aggressively. Now Trump's going after him again. Definitely sort of kind of a low blow. It's semi-legitimate, because DeSantis really was partying with young girls in that situation, and he shouldn't have been. But again, Trump's a hypocrite as well. It's like a semi-legitimate attack, but it is kind of a low blow. And so he goes out there and he's like, look, I'm busy trying to deliver for the people. I'm not busy smearing other Republicans. So in my opinion, I think he sort of nailed it. Now, it's going to get harder and harder moving forward, though, right? Because how he has to keep striking that balance. Can't go nuclear, can't be too passive. And to this point, I think he's done a good job. Now, I will take this moment, though. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you think about it, because I'm very curious what everybody thinks about this. And then also, got to pat myself on the back here, because I absolutely called this. Nobody has ever been more correct than I was in the thing I'm about to share with you. So, a new poll came out. DeSantis leads Trump for 2024 GOP nod, but not if Haley and others split the vote. The Florida governor edges out Trump and performs better against Biden in head-to-head matchups. Okay, so people who watch this show on a regular basis will know exactly what I'm referring to, but for how long now? Maybe about 3 weeks, maybe? Thereabouts, 2-3 weeks, something like that. I've been making the argument that, look, DeSantis against Trump head-to-head, I think DeSantis has a decent chance of winning. It's kind of a coin flip, but I think DeSantis actually has a chance of winning. But as soon as you start throwing in other big ego idiots, Nikki Haley, Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence, John Bolton, whatever, fill in the blank with all these people who want to run, Tim Scott, then Trump becomes a big favorite. Why? Because DeSantis needs to consolidate all of the anti-Trump Republican vote and even pick off some of the pro-Trump Republican vote. But if you start throwing in other Republicans, then even if they get 2% here, 1% here, 6% here, what's going to happen is all of that is coming out of DeSantis's vote share. None of that is leaving the 25 to 30% Trump block, which is with him no matter what. So Trump could end up winning the Republican primary with like 25 or 30% of the vote. He could win it with 25 or 30% of the vote. And so really what needs to happen in order for DeSantis to have his best shot is all these other big ego idiot Republicans, they all need to have a meeting, they all need to get together, and DeSantis needs to start cutting deals. Hey, you want to be Secretary of State? Hey, you want to be VP? Hey, you want to be whatever, Defense Secretary, whatever. And that's the only way, that's your best chance to take down Trump. Because again, head to head, he's got a real shot. As soon as you get 6, 7, 8 other Republicans in there, all of a sudden Trump's a colossal favorite. And again, now, so I've been saying this for 2 or 3 weeks. Now we have polling data that says that is exactly correct. I'm telling you guys, I'm not a genius. It's just, it's sort of common sense if you think about it for, a minute or two. It's a Yahoo News YouGov poll shows that in a head-to-head matchup, more Republican voters would cast their ballots for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, 45%, than former President Donald Trump, 41%, if the party's 2024 presidential primary were held today. Yet, if even one additional Republican candidate, even one more, challenges Trump and DeSantis for the nomination, splitting the party's anti-Trump vote, the former president would take the lead. Wow. So it was 1,585 U.S. adults in this poll. It was conducted February 2nd to the 6th. And that is, again, exactly what I warned of. So in this poll, they have just DeSantis, Trump, and Nikki Haley. And in this scenario, Nikki Haley would get 11% of the vote. I think that's high, to be honest. I really do. Trump would get 38, and DeSantis would get 35. So Trump would win that. But then you also have the head-to-head, DeSantis 45, Trump 41. Amazing. And again, you're looking at more than that, too, jumping in. It's going to be more than just Nikki Haley. It is. So, holy cow, man. That really is something. Now, I also have this story just came out, New York Times the other day. Trump has insulted Mr. DeSantis in casual conversations, describing him as Meatball Ron, in apparent dig at his appearance. All right, look, man. You got to give credit where it's due. This is way better than Ron DeSanctimonious. I've heard people float a couple different things. Ron DeSanctimonious is Trump, the one Trump went with. Ron DeSuckass was one I heard. Ron DeStablishment is another one I heard. Meatball Ron, I mean, that's the one that's got the most oomph to it. That's the one that's got the most, that's the most powerful, if you ask me. Because you're playing on a number of things. He's saying his appearance, okay, funny enough, but also, I think he's Italian-American. There's a little bit of an, an Italian dig type stuff, which Trump holds no prisoners, dog. There's nothing sacred to Donald Trump. It's kind of hilarious. I think he should have went with Meatball Ron publicly. It was much better. Much more on point. And by the way, this article here in the New York Times lays out exactly what I just described to you guys, which is DeSantis has a hard path here because he can't go nuclear on Trump, but he can't be too weak. And they're discussing that sort of dynamic that's at play. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens moving forward. But the big guy is certainly back on form. He's in rare form. He also, the other day, he was tweeting about the Super Bowl halftime and making fun of Rihanna and saying, worst halftime show I've ever seen. Honestly, it feels like we're right back in, 2016, 2017, 2018 with the way the big guy is in mid-season form now. There was a while there where he was struggling. To terminate the Constitution. He was saying stuff like that on Truth Social. He was talking about QAnon stuff and Pizzagate stuff and retruthing idiots like that and can't shut up about the 2020 election. It appears like he's sort of, massaging his way back to normalcy a little bit. I mean, he gave Biden credit on his State of the Union speech. He came out and said, don't cut Social Security even a penny. That's more Trump on point, then Trump lost in the wilderness, siloed off on Truth Social. So we'll see what happens here, but Meatball Ron. Oh, it's too good. Too good. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.